All right. We are live on, there we go. We are live on all the different social media platforms. Welcome tonight. We are a little bit early because we are going to share to all the Facebook groups. You should be able to see here. Let me help you out there. I'll get that.
Just a little.
Yeah, I'm thinking. And there we are. Share that. All right.
Can I have some glasses?
Some glasses? Okay, for the sharing.
Yeah, I can't read this.
We're adjusting the camera. Welcome. Thank you. Okay.
I'd say that's good. Come back here and give it a try.
That's perfect. All right.
Our man Whiskey handles the camera.
When we're doing this, just know tonight.
I'm going to keep grip.
Yeah.
Tonight, because of we did advertise that Sandy No was going to be coming on, but she had a family emergency tonight and is not going to be able to join us. But we will be tasting the Knob Creek 12-year, this bottle. I'm going to open it right now and let it sit for a little bit, and we're going to talk about the neck pour.
Have you had that before?
Creek 12, yeah.
We are, as we share to the different groups,
What am I not supposed to share?
the Central Bourbon.
Not this one.
No, that one's fine.
Yeah,
But the black one.
Okay.
I'm opening this to let this air. Listen to this pop. Okay, so we got that. We're going to start airing that out so that we can avoid the neck pour. We are the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, and tonight we have our newest member who's adjusting the camera.
Perfect.
You got that.
I think you nailed it.
And this is Whiskey. We have Xavier.
Greetings, folks.
Myself, Tiny, and Roxy, who is sharing to all the groups. Bear with us while we share to the groups. The tasting will start in 7 minutes, exactly at 9 o'clock. That's the scheduled time. We really appreciate everybody stopping by. We are going to do our rating system of Knob Creek 12-year. Once again, everybody, Sandy, no, if she can pop in, she's going to pop in, but she had a family emergency and isn't going to be able to make it tonight. So we're a little bit. Sandy is part of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. She is the bourbon queen for us. We've podcasted with her, and you can listen to that podcast in season 2 of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Make sure that hopefully everybody's got their Knob Creek 12-year to taste along. If you don't, grab your favorite bourbon and taste along with us tonight. This should
be a different Knob Creek.
Yeah, it could be any Knob Creek. It could be any Jim Beam. It could be anything. Just the key is that you're drinking and tasting along with us. It looks like, isn't that a lot easier to share that way? It's just like, wow.
We could do the Grace Kelly challenge.
So the way it works is
I can be brown.
We are able to see some comments that we do. If you've signed up for this, your comments will come up. The people on YouTube, the comments come up. All the comments will be coming up, and we're kind of excited about that.
Sounds like there's a lot of stuff coming up.
Yeah, as far as the comments. Yeah, hopefully we get people tasting along. Feel free to, in the comment section, tell us what you think. Also, we have Roxy tonight who's going to try and what would you say? Look in the different streams like the Scotchy Bourbon Boys or whatnot to see if she can find comments that don't. A lot of times
don't feed.
Yeah, like that don't feed. Right. There was a lot of comments that didn't feed. We're working out the details. Hopefully, we'll be starting in about 5 minutes, folks. It's just that once again we get on a little bit early here tonight because we are sharing and caring.
Because bourbon.
We really have a speakeasy atmosphere too with the dim lighting.
The dim lighting, huh?
Is it the dim lighting or the dim people?
It's both.
It's lighting.
You do realize there, Mr. Xavier, it's the same lighting of all the Scotchy Bourbon Boys.
No, you usually have a light over there. You didn't turn it on.
Yeah, you didn't turn it on. There's always a light over there.
There's always a light over there.
The only light that was over there was the Christmas tree. Trust me.
Christmas tree.
Maybe the Christmas tree did illuminate us a little bit more.
Yeah, because we're a little dark.
That's me. I'm dark.
I need something to get that
tiny dark. I mean, honestly, what the hell? We should have something. We should be.
I look rather.
Oh wait, we did
sinister, lurking in the background.
Did you share to all the all the groups are shared
it's all
to?
Coming
welcome.
Up, and now I got that
welcome.
song stuck in my head.
Welcome, Ka N. Am I coming up? Yes, you are, Ka N. You are coming up. You don't have to turn on the. She said, "Roxy, do I have to turn on the red light?" We get that. We're old. That's one of my favorite Police albums.
I will
that's
give you
for sure.
$5.
No, that always makes me think
I
of
will
the
give
scene
you
of
$5, Tiny, if you bust out Roxanne right now.
I'll give you $10 if you don't.
Roxanne,
too
Oh,
late.
come on. Keep it going.
turn out the red light.
You
Have to turn out the red
You
light.
remind me of
Roxanne.
Come on, Bill. Roxanne.
Turn out the red light.
Roxanne.
Turn out the
A
red
man
light.
has to know his limitations.
There
I
is
think
no
that song's
limitations
mine.
on the Scotchy Bourbon Boys.
That's right.
Scotchy, Scotch. That was for you,
did-
Mr.
did a
Nash.
perfect, you did a perfect imitation of Eddie Murphy and what was it? What was
Wow, that just fell
Oh,
flat, man.
yeah.
I got
the Nick Nolte Eddie Murphy one.
48 hours?
48
No.
hours.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I got a pass butt wad.
No, butt white.
Butt white.
Oh my god.
I was hoping you weren't going to do Beverly Hills Cop and say,
Doot, doot,
I got a banana in my tailpipe.
Yeah.
Where's
that-
this $10? Did you say
I'm
it?
actually, I'm looking.
No.
Someone's been in my wallet. I wonder who that could be, Mrs. Henley.
But we are still close. Another couple minutes. Bear with us. We will
The
start the
The
actual.
usual bet, Mortimer?
Yeah, I didn't
$1.
expect you. I didn't expect you
Yeah.
to pay me.
Oh, no, that was worth it.
Okay.
'Cause
Scotchy, Scotch.
that's going
Tonight
on.
is going to be wild. Tonight we are going to take this fucking podcast. We don't worry about language. We don't worry about anything. We're going to take it. Not a podcast. This tasting. This is live,
We
and we're
don't worry
tasting it
about
to the next
lighting.
level. We don't. Oh
Did I
no!
Holy
just knock over
mackerel.
my water?
Did you, no, you knocked over the Widow Jane.
I did. Ooh, that's good. That's better than the water.
There's a Glencairn too on the ground.
There is, all the way in the back.
Did it break?
It did not.
That's the Widow Jane
Wow.
Karen. We'll get that later. Don't
Yeah,
worry
we'll
about
get
it.
that
As long
later.
as it didn't break and you didn't
scoot
spill.
your chair back on. Oh, wait a minute. Revise
Yeah, watch your elbows. Watch your elbows.
That's why you don't put a fat guy on the end.
Yeah. But at least we didn't put you in a little coat.
That's right.
There you go. You put the fat guy in the middle, that's for sure. Anyways, so we are really close.
I played that
okay,
game in high school.
okay. Khan
Fat guy in
says,
the middle,
okay, let's put it. He says he's got a.
middle.
That's for sure. Wait. Anyways,
Wait
so
a
we are
minute,
really
what
close.
happened?
Okay.
Well, I
You
turned
put it
down.
on my speaker.
I turned it down.
Yeah, I turned. That was going. I picked it up on
It
the
wouldn't be
speaker.
Scotchy Bourbon Boys if we didn't have
Technical difficulty.
exactly.
Yeah, we'll finish up with the whiskey
It's kind of
bar.
become
But when we
harmonic,
start, we
yeah.
are starting, folks, in 1 minute. The Scotchy Bourbon Boys tasting of Knob Creek 15 year. It's been airing out a little bit. I am going to, since we're going to be getting into this,
Let me see that label.
you don't get to.
I want to
No, 12 year. 12 year.
I was going to say you said 15 years. Like I thought
I've
there
been
was a
sniffing a
12
little
on it.
bit too much glue tonight.
I picked a bad day to quit sniffing glue.
Exactly.
Now this one,
Love that movie.
this is only 100 proof, opposed to the Knob Creek we were tasting earlier tonight. It was 120. Okay,
I'm not
so I
tasting
did the
it.
neck pour. We opened it. You saw us
Roger,
open
Roger.
it 10 minutes ago. It is now 9 o'clock, and we are ready to
All
start.
right.
Welcome everybody to the Scotch. Oh, we got Con. You can do the why don't you there,
Okay.
Roxy, do the
You can post the
Stag
comments.
Juno. Here we go. Boom. Yep.
Boom, boom.
All right, so we are tasting Knob Creek 12 year. Once again, everybody who didn't hear it before and they're just joining us now, Sandy No was supposed to be joining us from Jim Beam, but she wasn't able to due to a family emergency. She might stop in, I don't know, but overall, I think we're on our own tonight. So we are tasting tonight Knob Creek 12 year.
12 year.
I want to say 15, but 12, the better of the two. But this is a wonderful bourbon. This is a brand new bottle. We did our neck pour eliminator I opened this bottle about 10 minutes ago, let it air out a little bit, put the cap back on, flipped it back upside down to make sure the new air goes into the and get
Out with
rid
the old
of
air,
that
in with the new
surface
air.
that was picking up those
works for me.
negative alcohol notes and tones there or tastes, and then you flip it and now it's all mixed in, and this is no longer a neck pour. So tonight
It's like Naranjo. You said it.
we're
Yeah.
kind of excited. Everybody, let's break in. Does anybody, Roxy, would you like to go over our rating that we're going to do tonight? You are familiar with that, correct?
You can.
I'll do it. I'm on it.
Yeah,
If
you
she
can
doesn't
do
want
that.
Professor Xavier.
I'm
can do it.
pouring.
it. All right.
I don't want to screw it up.
The Scotchy Bourbon Boy rating system, not to be confused with the barrel bashing rating system.
Yes.
On Whiskey
Well,
Live, right?
Which we didn't
we're
do.
on Whiskey Live. The Whiskey Live rating system is we rate 4 aspects of every bourbon expression we sample. That's the nose, the taste, the body, and the finish. And we give up to 25 points for each one of those aspects of the finish. But as of a few weeks ago, Tiny introduced a weighted rating system for taste and finish.
Are you
On the
insinuating?
bash.
Are you
But
Oh,
insinuating?
that
not
on the bash,
that,
you didn't
yeah.
do it here? You
No,
didn't do it
here we just go straight across
Straight-
25.
Okay, just disregard that last sentence. I
I don't
had
know.
it right the first time.
I think
Yes.
you were insinuating I'm fat. Because you said it was a weighted system.
So, anyways,
yeah.
we are the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. We
Insensitive
podcast
language.
weekly. www.scotchybourbonboys.com. Check that out. But we do this whiskey live tasting every second and fourth Friday of the month. So check that out. It's always something different. This tonight, it was the Knob Creek 12, distilled at the Jim Beam Distillery in Clearmont, Kentucky. It is I'm a fan of pretty much all Knob Creeks. I love their barrel picks. I love the Knob Creek 9, 100 proof 120. This is the 12. This is 100 proof. It's a little less strong. And then there's the 15, which of all the expressions is my least favorite, but it's still damn good. Anyways, so we're supposed to be, what we're going to do is we're going to go around the first time. Welcome everybody, and what we'll do is nose this. We got Con. Let's see.
That's
Is that the newest one?
Oh man.
He's got what? Price of the. Okay, wait. Okay.
So this is a fresh crack, Jeff. Is this also this year's expression?
This is late last year's expression.
So 21.
21. And then as far as Booker's, they're not going to I don't think they're going to raise the price any further. Booker's has been maintaining their price for a while now. So, yeah, if you don't, I mean, Knob Creek Maple is, I'll put that up too. Knob Creek Maple. He's not, I would say also, I'm not a big fan of flavored bourbons. So I haven't had it. It might be good. I mean, I found a couple that I liked. I like,
I love
Paw. I love Paw Paw's Revenge from the Neely Family Distillery, which is a salted caramel bourbon, which has got a really nice taste. But most flavored bourbons, I'm not a big fan of, and I haven't tried the maple because I'm just not a fan of that.
Yeah, no,
All right.
yeah, maple. I love maple. I don't like necessarily maple bourbon.
Right.
I have a few of them on the shelf and all.
I don't like maple, and I don't necessarily like maple bourbon.
Got to
either,
give
so,
if it's maple, you got to give a shout out to Ann's Pastries in Wadsworth because they make the best maple cream sticks.
Okay.
Mm.
Now that I could see, but then we've got in a future podcast coming up, Widow Jane. It's called Decadence, and I've never seen that, but Decadence is actually a bourbon, a 10-year Widow Jane bourbon finished in maple syrup barrels. So I'll be excited to be able to taste that with Lisa Roper Wicker in the future. Now, when you're tasting, the first thing, this is a Glencairn. The Scotchy Bourbon Boys logo is on this Glencairn.
If you'd like one at home,
We have it, www.scotchybourbonboys.com, or you can contact the Scotchy Bourbon Boys or myself, Jeffrey Mueller, on Facebook, and just tell me you want one. We'll get the payment taken care of and ship it out to you. Or you could do it on our Patreon where you support us and we send you a Glencairn or a really cool t-shirt like what I'm wearing tonight for the Scotchy Bourbon Boys.
or you can come to one of our live tasting events, which have been at the Barrel Room
Yes.
in North Canton.
On our meetings. You come to our meetings, everything's for sale there also in North Canton at the Barrel Room. That's a good shout out to Carrie Sullivan, wonderful
Carrie.
owner. And then one of the cool things the Scotchy Bourbon Boys are doing in June is we're going down and we're going to be doing a barrel pick of Knob Creek.
Knob Creek.
Mhm.
So
There you go.
everybody, you know about that. Let me know if you're interested. It's like I thought I was going to maybe have a little bit of trouble selling this, but obviously not. People want cases already. I've been hearing, I'll take a case of that. I'll take a case. I'm happy about that. Totally.
Very good.
All right.
Mm.
So here we go. Oh. The nose on this is just one of the. There's the classic Knob Creek, but then there's a little bit of oak that you pick up, and then there's the peanut. So it's very it's like being at a I really think this smells like being at a baseball game, and you got the big huge bag of
Hot
peanuts.
roasted peanuts.
Yeah, and you're just cracking them and throwing them on the floor. This is kind of like classic Knob Creek on steroids, right? Like it's like when you get this nose, the normal nose. Now, a Glencairn is shaped in a tear glass with the bottom. One of the nice thing about the base is you can hold it, allows you to look at what's going on in the glass without warming up the whiskey, holding it like that. But then another aspect of this that's really cool is that if you put
Don't try this at home unless you're a
put
professional.
it on its side, wait,
That's what I did. I started rolling it in the
And
you
it's
got the
spilled all
right-
over.
whiskey. Was coming.
and you can roll it around the glass. As you do that, pick it up. It clings to the side, and you can see how it clings to that side. And when it starts to form the streams back into the whiskey, that's called, wow, those are thick legs. They're called legs. This really has a nice thick viscosity to it to drop back. It's even throughout the whole glass. That will tell you that's part of the body, of what's going on in the glass. Tells you what kind of mouthfeel it's going to be. If you get a really good mouthfeel, it's kind of like, my son wants to join in for a second. He's going to grab a little bit of the 12-year here. This is
That's his arm. Yeah.
It's a
my 23-year-old
It's
son.
Arm flies off.
He's
backhand,
what
you
would
go
this be
flying.
called? What's it called? Photo
Stealing.
bombing?
stealing.
Yeah.
Stealing. Yeah, it's definitely just stealing.
You're
Yeah.
stealing the bourbon, huh?
Yeah.
He'd
You
gladly
spilled some on
pay
the
you
bar.
Tuesday
He
for
does
the bourbon
like
today.
he does like Knob Creek. One of the cool things was on his 21st birthday, I gave him a Knob Creek store pick that was barreled exactly 10 years before on his birthday, and then put into the bottle on his birthday. It was a 10-year bottle of Knob Creek,
That
and
was delicious.
I was able to.
Yeah, it is.
What a unique gift. That's cool.
So that was really cool to be able to give him a bottle of whiskey on his 21st birthday. And once I had seen it, it was hard to give it up, wasn't it? I was like, but I
He
gave
thought
it.
twice about it. He's like, should I? Shouldn't I? And I'm like, just give it to him.
Yeah, of course. Whiskey is for sharing and giving, and it's all about family, friends, getting together, just like we are tonight. Even if it's on the internet, listening to, talking with y'all, drinking it.
Wow, it's a little different for me. On my 21st birthday, my dad gave me the gift of paying rent.
Oh.
I just wanted, I don't think the Hall of Fame's moving to Los Angeles.
They're building a massive Hall of Fame village as we speak.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
Canton.
here in
Wow.
Canton, they're holding on to that
Got mine
one.
like $100 in stocks in that.
Yeah,
No,
you
it's
do.
takes a village, and you know what every village has?
People.
An idiot.
An idiot.
I knew the answer to that.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking of the village people. Macho man. No.
Stop with the singing.
Okay. Anyways.
It's
Bye.
Macho
Bye,
man.
Seth.
It's
Bye.
Scotchy- it's
Bye.
Okay. Maybe every
Bye.
Friday night you could just crash the
What
tasting.
did we decide his nickname was?
ShamWow.
Bye, Shamwow.
ShamWow.
ShamWow. That's
Yeah,
yes. My son's ShamWow.
Bye,
Why?
Shamwow.
Wow.
Yeah, we'll just go change our podcast.
Because he's super absorbent.
He's super absorbent.
Oh.
ShamWow.
Bye.
It's
You guys
just,
All
take
right.
it easy.
it's
All right.
not just sham.
It's
It's
Sham.
ShamWow.
Wow.
There we go. Is that better?
Awesome. Are we going to taste this, or are we going to talk about it?
Right.
I've been
Okay.
tasting.
We were
So
nosing it.
to nose it, the reason why the Glencairn's so awesome
Oh, so good.
is that teardrop shape, it takes all the flavors and condenses it so that when you smell it, opposed to a rocks glass or a shot glass, which is just kind of, it doesn't do that intensifying, you're able to get a lot of what you couldn't smell out of a rocks glass or a normal glass into this wonderful whiskey smelling, tasting glass.
And every time we go to a tasting in a bar or a restaurant and they serve the bourbon in a rocks glass, we just shake our heads and go,
Or it's in one of these.
or these, yeah.
Or like a shot
Or
glass,
it's a
and
little
when you're
shot
sitting
glass.
there going,
Like you can't
Every
nose
time
it. It doesn't-
every time I try to nose a shot glass, I end up snorting it.
it doesn't-
well, not
And
only that,
coincidentally, it's really hot when you do that.
Oh yeah, that burns.
I can imagine.
It does clear out the sinuses.
Yeah.
I haven't had any
It's the
problems.
new
with-
neti pot, right?
That's right.
yeah. So, but also whenever it's in a regular glass, my senses are gone. It's like I can't taste or smell it properly, and it's like
So
you
you're
give me
saying if you don't have a Glencairn in your
right,
hand,
and
your
you give me a
senses are
blind.
gone?
If you give me a blind test
kind of
and
makes sense.
that's not in a Glencairn, I'm going to be 0-4. Oh wait, I wasn't I?
Did you just say you're going to be Oprah?
0-4.
Oh,
I was
oh.
0-4. 0 for
I
5.
I heard Oprah.
Well, okay, I'll be 0-4.
Fabulously successful.
Whatever you want me to do.
businesswoman.
I'm the tiny Oprah.
Billionaire.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I wish. All right, so
Oh, that is so
the
good.
nose on here, once again, it's a lot similar to the regular Knob Creek, in my opinion, but the peanutness of the aspect of it, the nuttiness is a little bit more intense, almost like it's like when you're at the natural food store and you're grinding those peanuts and it's turning into peanut butter, but that smell that comes off, that's what I'm getting on this.
See,
So if you're allergic to peanuts, don't drink
No.
this.
the nose to me is
I need more.
more like Cracker Jacks.
I don't get any caramel.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I'm
I
getting
get the caramel,
yeah.
the
Oh
popcorn,
no,
and peanuts.
it's definitely there.
I get
Caramel
the Cracker
and
Jacks.
peanuts
The
and
caramel
Cracker
is
Jacks.
When
dominant.
you open
and
a box
the
of Cracker
peanuts are-
Jacks and you get that whiff of that Cracker Jack.
In that stale popcorn.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Oh,
Okay,
God.
there's a
I just love
little
that.
bit of.
Is there a surprise at the bottom?
Yeah, is there a prize?
Yes.
If we turn you upside down, is there a surprise?
If
in your
that caramel corn,
Is there a surprise
if
to you about it?
if that, no, I'm not Joe Biden. Sorry.
Whoa.
No,
That's
no,
it.
Apologies,
That's-
Mr. President. I'm sure you're watching.
That's it.
I don't think he is. Not
Podcast
tonight.
banned from YouTube. But you won't see this one.
What?
This is hey, you know what? This
What?
is
This
way
is-
more entertaining than Russia
I
versus Ukraine.
I should name this live tasting. Oops, I shit my pants.
Or I did it again, in which case for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, hey.
There you go. All right.
We digress.
Okay, I get a little bit of caramel and I get a little bit of Cracker
So,
Jacks.
so the ethanol for me really comes through. I mean, you can smell the
Oh, yeah.
ethanol. For me, the underlying scent is like flan. You know, when you get flan at the Mexican place,
Yes.
and you get that little bit of creaminess,
Yeah.
Like
and you
in
get that
Courage the
cinnamon,
Cowardly Dog.
and that
Yeah,
little
flan,
drizzle of
yes.
yeah.
Did you ever see that Courage Cowardly Dog episode with the flan?
It's
I
a
can honestly tell you,
it's a-
Jeff, I've never watched Cowardly Dog.
Oh,
Courage
you
the
need to
Cowardly
watch
Dog.
Courage
Neither
the
have I.
Cowardly Dog.
Oh my God, that was a messed up show.
That
but
was
anyways,
our favorite.
all right, enough about Courage, and let's get back on to this. All right, I'm enjoying this nose. All right, so let's do some tasting.
Anything to add to the nose?
No, I'd just be repeating what everybody else said.
Oh, so good.
This
So good.
the taste does not match the nose. I'm sorry there. Not even close. Holy crap. The sweetness in this is not come through that it does on the nose.
Oh, that's very different. Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
The taste is awesome.
There's
Yeah.
that's like magic in my mouth. Not like the basketball player, because that would be weird. But that
Yeah,
You
and
really
all-
felt the need to clarify that.
I did.
Were
Yeah.
you one of his 4,000?
I might have been.
10,000 or whatever it was?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's Michael Jackson too. So
Well, he did share that
Just
cocktail
beat
that
it.
he had to take to live, right?
Yeah.
and it was Knob Creek 12.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay, let's get the car out of the ditch and
Did you say get the girl out of the bitch?
no.
I just went right back to
Oh
it.
my god.
Slide down the slope.
Slippery. Who's going first?
Ah,
This is
delicious.
this is amazing.
Okay, so you're
That
going
is very
first.
good.
I'll go
Thank
first.
you for volunteering.
There you go.
So we're going to rate the nose first.
We're not rating shit.
You're going nose.
We're no.
first.
No, I don't think we're rating.
We're
I think
still tasting. We still got rating once we're all tasted and kind of
So
get through
We've
it.
all tasted.
So this is.
But he's talking about it.
This is real good. And interestingly enough, this is a little different than the Knob Creek 12 I have at home. So we must have slightly different batches. And I also have a 2021, but I got mine right at the end of the year in December.
They're always going to be slightly different, but that's why bourbon's such a fun, exciting thing. Are we getting
so much sweetness?
Nope. Okay.
The caramel is really. I don't even know.
Eric says it's so darn good.
It's like
is.
butterscotch.
You're on the right one to see. Yes, it is.
I mean, when I think of bourbon, this is what I want bourbon to be.
You're right. It's like it's big. It's got the caramel. It's got the sweetness. It's got a little bit of whatever. It's got the. I mean, it's only 100 proof, so it's like a bottled in bond.
So, and then Patrick says, "Count me in on your barrel pick."
Okay.
Nice. Thank you,
All right,
Patrick.
we need to start a list because
You almost need to have 2 barrels.
I will be doing more picks, but I'm not going.
Well, you know,
the goal is to do like 4 a year. Is that
the goal is to make sure that everything sells and create a want for my barrel picks, and then I can do what I need to do to make people be able to ensure that they're going to get the pick.
Well, but you know,
so the
Jeff,
whole idea, you just can't blow your wad right off the bat. Just it's not the way to do it. Otherwise, I could end up with like holding a shit ton of bourbon, and that's not what I'm about.
And become Scotchy Bourbon Boys Bourbon Brokerage Incorporated.
Yes.
well,
Don't want to do
remember,
that.
I mean, you can pick your barrel, and you can pick your barrel's nose. You just can't pick your nose on the podcast.
Yes.
I can though,
You could,
because it's mine.
but people would go, "Oh, where's he going to put that?"
I'm not gonna. Well, I just kind of like what boop, mix it up.
No,
take
you
care of
got to
it.
do the roll. Everybody knows that.
Oh, God.
All right.
Well, good night, folks.
Anyway,
Not
Wow.
only are
Everyone's
we in
gonna
the
be like,
ditch,
get
we're
rid of the fact
upside
Now you know
down.
why I was trying to
We're
hurry this
upside
along.
down
Yeah.
in the ditch, Bill. So there's no coming out.
Yeah, I guess so. We're gonna have to
Hey.
get a tow truck.
That car,
Hey,
that
that's
car
the way
might have
that's
caught
what-
fire. in
If
the ditch.
anybody missed our early moments
pre-podcast.
pre-podcast,
Oh God.
Jeff earned $5 for badly singing.
Oh, I horribly sang it.
Yeah.
But
Roxanne.
Roxanne. Yes. It was off key. You weren't even singing the right notes.
Roxanne.
I'm not
No.
giving you another $5.
No.
Anyways, Roxy.
Oh God.
There you go.
That's
Okay.
yeah.
It's hey, deal with it, man.
You don't have
Hey,
to turn on
wake
the
up.
bathroom
Wake
light.
the fuck up
Taste.
there, Xavier. It's like
Taste.
yeah,
Roxanne.
we're right. What?
Taste.
Wait, we keep getting more people. It's good.
It's
Oh,
it's
good.
Scotchy Bourbon
Yeah.
Boys
This
karaoke
is about
night.
we're having a fucking party here.
As one of our watchers says, it's too much tomfoolery going on. There's some tomfoolery going on.
Tomfoolery.
Tomfoolery.
Yeah.
Wait, we
When
got a
was the
bottle.
Watcher
no, wait,
born?
we got a bottle of that too. I
1910?
I
think.
think so.
Should we open the tomfoolery next?
If I had tomfoolery,
I
but
thought
I
you had
don't.
tomfoolery.
I
Hang
got,
down your
I
head,
got buzzard
tomfoolery.
roosts, so we can just pick the carcass.
That
Oh,
was a
there you
song
go.
by the Kingston Trio, I think.
Yep, there you go. So,
Um,
anyways,
So taste.
Taste.
Roxy, go.
wait,
He's,
we got to go to finish. Let's
he's
talk
in
about the
charge
finish.
of
Okay, well, no, I didn't get to say anything about the taste.
No.
Well, then talk about the taste.
I
Don't
want
rate
to
it. Just talk.
anymore.
No, we just talk about
The
it.
taste
Where's the
is
puddle? I'm
awesome.
going to drown him in
The
a puddle.
the taste is, as long as it's a puddle of that, I don't care.
Yeah,
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, exactly.
no kidding.
Yeah,
Really
everybody should be so lucky. No, that taste is just off the hook. It's fantastic. It's got a good caramel taste.
Yep.
You do pick up some of the nutty taste that Tiny was talking about. Maybe slightly peppery, but not to the point where it destroys your mouth. Just a good, like you say, it's everything a bourbon should be. It's
Everything
just a
should
good bourbon taste. If you like Kentucky bourbon, this is the whiskey to buy.
Not a hug. Not a big hug.
No.
Not that warm.
Not
hug.
a huge hug, but
But
it's
you know
there.
it's there.
It's
You
there.
know.
Yeah.
You know. You just had bourbon.
Not a big hug, but a good one.
Yeah, like a tiny hug.
So I will I
Yeah.
agree with you. I love the taste, but I'm gonna make you you're gonna have to explain your normal scale kind of thing, what you need, because I'm just telling you, I go like this.
Yeah, the nose is not a prelude.
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
I would have to agree that
So
the nose.
I'm gonna be very curious on how you rate this one.
And
Because-
then interestingly enough,
But-
though, the finish isn't real long for
No.
me.
I was just
Correct.
gonna say,
But it's
the
not
finish
but
is
Knob
little
Creek's
short.
never been about it's short to medium. It's not short. And what's there is like an oaky, a little bit peanutty, and then there's so where you normally get here's a weird thing about it is where you normally get your finish is at the back of your throat and to the memory of what after you swallow. That's normally where the finish is. But on this one, there's some finish going on my tongue.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've not
It
had one.
lingers.
It's like
Yeah.
it's right there on the two sides of my
Uh-huh.
tongue. So the body handles this. It's a nice body bourbon. But then what's happening on my tongue, that's more where the finish is than at the back of my throat, where 99.9% of all whiskeys, you're getting that what you're doing as
coming
you
back
keep
up.
swallowing and keep swallowing and keep swallowing. Whereas this one, it's really intriguing that it's still right there
Yeah.
on the
It lasts a long time on the palate.
right, and that's part of the finish. It's just very unique when it comes to that kind of stuff. This is we're doing the 12 because I definitely knew whiskey here. He likes
this.
it, but also I know how much Xavier loves Knob Creek.
I love Knob
and
Creek,
I like
yeah.
it. And we had done in the podcast right before, we did 2 barrel selects. It's just very, very good bourbon. There's no doubt about it.
And was supposed to join us. So
Sandy.
Sandy,
Sandy.
sorry. Man,
Yes.
I'm horrible with names.
It's
You
okay.
had the right alphabet.
Y'all need to get some flashcards for me.
Yeah.
I know.
Um,
There actually
You
is
had the right
tomfoolery
alphabet. I mean,
bourbon.
what
was
the
just
heck?
making a joke.
Yes.
Sorry.
Tomfoolery, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. We got the
Okay.
the
you got-
pun.
Yes, you got the pun.
I said I didn't have any.
Yes. We were having some, but we didn't have any. Yeah.
The
Right, and then there was some buzzard roost, so that was going to pick the carcass.
So their finish is still on my tongue after
isn't
all
that
this time.
amazing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it
you know
is.
what?
Still on my tongue.
So
It's
can you
very
say
pleasant.
it's short then?
Yeah.
It's very pleasant.
Well, I wouldn't call it a short
Okay,
finish
so this
because it's just not in the same the usual place
It's,
for a finish.
it's kind of like
It's just
Pop
like in-
Rocks for adults.
Yeah.
All right.
So why can't the finish be on a different place in
So
your
I
mouth?
don't have this because of all the busyness of this week. I don't have this
I
set
I
up.
so want to make a comment right now.
Yeah, just
I
behave,
threw you a
everyone.
high fastball. Either hit it out of the park or strike out. That's your choice.
I'm a
gotta see
gentleman.
Yeah.
I got my phone ready to to add it up, but if you want to do it,
Okay.
Yeah, there was at least 2 comebacks there.
Yeah,
if not
I
3,
know.
and I just
Oh,
went-
and you
I
got to
just
Yeah.
keep it going, don't
hit
you,
it out of
Bill?
the high and out of the park.
Okay, Roxy,
Comebacks.
Just
Tiny.
back to that bourbon. I need a little more.
Oh, isn't
Because
it
it's
great?
too good to
Isn't
just
it great?
have like a swallow. I only poured a swallow.
And Xavier and whiskey.
So I'm gonna make a bold statement. So I had a lot of bourbon over the last year, and
Yeah,
for
some more of that too. Just-
other than the unobtainiums, right?
Right.
The
for sure.
Winkles,
Yeah.
you know, the Carter, the $300
You're not
bottles.
done yet, are you?
At this
I didn't think
price
so.
point, $69.99
Oh,
is
yeah,
what it is in
that's-
Ohio.
Mhm.
This is a bourbon of the year for me for 21. And I've made that statement a couple of times, but not publicly
I
because
can see why
I
you would say that.
still
Yeah.
want to be able to buy a bottle. So all you guys running out, make sure you're outside of Ohio because this is kind of dried up
Yeah,
here.
it's
But
creamy and buttery,
it's
and the mouthfeel. It's
Plus,
the-
the aspect of like the tasting, why I adjusted the tasting on the podcast to put less. This bourbon is the reason why I took less from the nose and the body and added a little more to the taste and the finish, because honestly, if I get something that doesn't smell very good and the mouthfeel isn't the best, but it's delicious, and
Mhm.
what's left in your mouth for 10 minutes is still delicious, that's way more important than having it smell delicious, taste like shit, and then it fills your mouth the whole time to taste like shit, and then and you don't want it to linger any longer, but sometimes it does.
and I'm
so
gonna
those are the
add
reasons.
to my pour because this is your bottle. That makes my bottle at home last a little longer.
Drink up, buddy. I
Yeah,
got
there's
405 bottles.
of bourbon, yeah.
I mean,
You
how
can sing
often
the
I
song,
revisit
405
bottles?
bottles
Yeah, right.
Bourbon on the wall.
405 bottles.
You can see
of
what's
bourbon.
behind us,
Take
and then
one
it's
down,
over
pass it
there,
around.
and it's over there, and it's everywhere.
Technically, it's over there too.
It's over there.
Yeah,
it's
it's
over
everywhere.
there. It's
Yeah,
over
so,
there. It's over
yes.
there. It's over there.
So, anyways, all right. So let's go. Roxy, you're going to go first on the nose.
Okay.
So out of 25, what are you going to give this on the nose?
So the nose is up there. It's a very sweet nose. You want to, I rate noses if I want to keep sniffing it. Like if you're like, ooh, that's nice,
As opposed to
Gotten
armpit.
better,
I want to
right?
keep sniffing it. Yeah, some you sniff and you're like, oh, that's a little too
Yeah,
much ethanol,
some's
a little
like-
too
yeah.
birdy, or you're desperately trying to find something to smell and you're having trouble finding it.
I use the armpit gauge. I definitely don't want to smell that again.
Yeah.
So if I have a nose and I really want to enjoy it,
Yeah, like I keep
that's
wanting
better
to
than an
smell
armpit,
it.
right? Yeah.
So
You don't want to know what I use.
because I'd want to go up and
No,
I
I'm
want to
sure
have some
I don't,
room
as a matter
to
of
move in
fact.
this. I will give it a 23.
A 23.
Yeah,
That's a really high nose there.
Yeah, that's very good.
Roxy.
I like it.
You're a little bit polluted on your nose.
A little bit highfalutin.
Highfalutin.
Hey, I can make a score whatever I
You
want.
score the shit out of it. I'm fine with that. On the nose, this is a classic bourbon nose, but it's not complicated enough. It's on the mid average, so I give this nose a 19.
That's a shitty score.
Nope, it's only
Well, you
Well,
ripped on
considering
my
the
high
last
score.
live tasting, you were Mr. 25 out of 25.
Yeah, exactly.
all right. The
I'm
next
on, baby.
is Xavier.
It's a good nose, but I kind of fault the nose because it doesn't really tell you how great the taste is.
Yeah.
But
We
it's
knew
not
he
a
was gonna
it's not
say
a
that.
bad nose. I'm going to give it a 20 on the nose.
That's nice.
Interesting.
So again, I've made the bold statement that this was bourbon of the year for Carl,
Mm-hmm.
or whiskey, I guess.
Whiskey.
That was
Whiskey,
bold,
sorry.
Yeah, don't be saying Carl,
Whiskey of the year
right?
for
right,
Carl
yeah,
or
do
bourbon
that.
of the year for whiskey?
Yeah.
I-
Something like
I'm
that.
so
It's what I
confused.
don't know
What
what
the
I'm
hell?
doing, Bob. So I will say, this is a bourbon that I've had straight like this from the bottle. I do like it if you drop a little water in this one. I think it opens up a little more, which is a tasting technique that some people enjoy. I also really like this cold, but because it's only 100 proof, you can't put ice in it.
Right.
So yes, you can.
You can. So if you enjoy ice, get ice. If you want to stick it in a bunch of crushed ice in your Yeti and make it really cold, that's what I've been doing. I love it. So, but I give this nose a 22 because I think
Just shows how high you were.
What's that?
Just shows how high she was.
Well, and I
this-
got to tell you,
he's got a bourbon of the year, and he's giving it a 22. And she gave it a 23. High five. It's
I'm not
good.
high-fiving you.
Why? You're allowed to.
dude, you're going to be lucky if she lets you sleep with her tonight.
I'm always lucky if that happens.
I'm just in the same room.
I just wake up and say, I got lucky. All right. So he gives it a 22. All right, we're gonna go snaking around. So what do you think the body on this is?
Oh. Is that pointed to anybody in particular?
You start. You get to do a double. You know,
24.
The
like
back and the fourth and the back and the fourth.
24.
a 24 on the body. Holy shit.
I love the way it lingers in the mouth. I love the feel of it. I love the fact that the flavor is consistent from the palate to the finish, through the body of it. This actually feels like it goes everywhere.
Mhm.
Like it's a total mouth experience.
Wait, we skipped taste, right?
no,
He-
no, we're on body.
he
We didn't
said
skip shit.
he said he's snaking around tonight.
Why do you have to do? Wait, just go.
We're just going out of order. So I that's the thing I think that I like about this bourbon too is it literally goes everywhere. I mean, I can feel it in the sides of my mouth. I can feel it all over my tongue.
Right.
It can feel it in the gums.
I've
You
always
can feel it in
said
the
that
back
you
of the
can have a
throat.
great bodied bourbon that tastes like shit. If your whole
Sure.
mouth tastes like shit, it's got good body. I mean, it can happen.
Yeah.
It did the last time. I think one of them I did. I gave it a 0 on taste on that 15-year Calumet that we tasted on the thing, and I gave the body a 4 because it was like it
And that's
filled
the
my
bourbon
mouth
batch
with
scale.
I filled my that's the barrel bass out of whatever and it was just like crazy how how
super
much
good.
bad could fill your mouth, but it did, so it's a good body.
The
All
other
right,
thing too is I don't get that punch of ethanol. I don't get that punch of rye. This is just really mellow, and
that's the mouthfeel, right?
that is awesome.
So what are you doing with that, Xavier? Which way are you going on the body?
It's a very good body. it does fill your mouth nicely. You have the lingering, like you say, the finish lingers further up in your mouth than normally. It doesn't bitter out. It just stays nice. I'm going to give the body a 25.
Oh, wow.
Holy shit!
Wow,
Nice.
that's like Pam Anderson back in Baywatch days,
That's like
one
both.
more than,
No,
it's
it's-
like one more than 24.
no,
and one less than 26.
You got it.
and it's
And
like
27 would be straight out.
And there's no- there's- it's like Bo Derek in 10. All right, I think the body is good on this one. It's at 100 proof. It's there, but for 100 proof, it's really good. But overall, I think the body on this one's a 21 for me. You go, Roxy.
So, I mean, the bourbon fills my entire mouth. It's all on all surfaces. So I'm going to give the body a score similar to the nose. So I'm going to give it a 23. Because as
Nice.
much as I enjoy sniffing it, I enjoy the body of this bourbon. And not all, a lot of bourbons, really good ones, don't fill your mouth as
Correct.
much as this one
Yep,
does.
I agree.
This
with
has
It's
that.
on
good
the sides of my
spice.
This one
tongue. It's
does
on the
it.
roof of my mouth. It's on the back of my throat. It's on the insides of my cheeks. And you can even feel it on the inside of your lower lip. So, I mean, really, it's everywhere.
All right, so now we're snaking around for taste.
So I really like this is really pleasant tasting bourbon, but it's not as complex of a taste as I typically like, although it's really delicious. So I'm going to give the taste a 21. But
All
it's
right.
got a lovely caramel and a little oak and little smoke.
The
So it's
taste
good.
to me is the strong point of the bourbon.
Yep, hands down.
I like it. It's different than the barrel picks. I mean, the barrel picks are a lot different. This plays. So the complexity of this is way more complex than a barrel pick. I think that on a barrel pick, I love the barrel picks. We talked about that, but at the same time, they're big, bold, caramel, whatever. This at the 12-year starts to add the complexity that I want in a bourbon because it starts to play a little bit with the oak, where some of the barrel picks aren't even considering the oak. It's just flavor. So what for me makes a sort of a unique bourbon when you're talking about the taste, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that when you get a little bit of you got sweetness on the front palate. You got a little bit of spice as it goes back. And then all of a sudden you've got a little bit of oak and then some vanilla. And then as we talked, the finish is still the sweetness on your tongue, which that's something that's rare. But so if we're going by the taste, I'm really enjoying this taste. I give the taste a 23. Tiny gives the taste of 23. Xavier.
Nothing to really add other than I think it's perfect. Give it a 25. I'm not sure how I would tweak it any. What I like is I'm not getting any. I'm not wild about oak or tobacco or those tastes. I know a lot of you are, and that's fine. For me, I like it where it doesn't get bitter. I don't mind if it flattens out a little bit, but I don't care for a bitter taste. I prefer to the sweet side, and this stays consistently sweet. To me, it's everything a bourbon ought to be. It's like what whiskey said.
So you don't
Yeah.
penalize
I give it 25.
the taste because it doesn't match the nose.
No, I penalize the nose.
Okay.
Now, if the nose was better than the taste, I'd be penalizing the taste. In this case, the taste is far better than what the nose indicates.
Thank you for clarifying that because we've never had to deal with this before.
Right.
Usually when it doesn't match, the nose doesn't match the taste for you. And it's like overall, they both aren't doing
They
what they
both
need
suffer.
to do.
Yeah,
And
that's
so all of a
right,
sudden
yeah.
we're talking
No,
about 12
no,
and
this
15.
one- no.
This nose doesn't tell you something different is coming. It just doesn't tell you how good what's coming.
Oh,
Yeah.
but
It
that's
doesn't
different.
tell you how good what's coming is.
Yeah, it really mails it in. The nose is terrible.
well, I would say-
I mean, it's a great nose, but it's not. It doesn't telegraph what the taste should be at all.
And it's one of the things I like
It's
about
kind of
it.
like a speakeasy. you kind of like don't know what to expect, and then you go there and it's a great big huge giant awesome speakeasy
Or
party.
like you find a really pretty girl at the bar and
Right,
find out
right.
she's a dude.
that would make it like a 12 or no, a 1.
Only a 12 for you.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh my God! Notice how he didn't say that he'd rule it out altogether. He
It
just
just depends
gave it a
on
little bit lower
it
rating.
just depends on how
my
hot
God.
the girl actually looked. That was
Well,
a
you
big
know,
sheets with
12. That's a dude's still a 12.
12 cast strength blows away the 100 proof stuff. Yeah, I mean,
So on taste, I'm going to give this a 24.5. The only thing,
no 0.5.
well, then it's a 24.
Okay.
The only
Wait a minute. If it's a 5, you round up.
well, it is, but we're rounding down. We're truncating.
But it's
We're not
24.
rounding.
Okay, we're truncating. As
We're
long as it's clear.
truncating, yeah.
Okay. If you were rounding, it would have been.
The only thing this lacks for me is the one thing is, I mean, this is bottled at 100 proof. If this was 105, 107, 109, I think
120.
No, 120 would be too hot. But 110, somewhere in that 105 to 110 range, this would be the complete package.
Even like a 112.
And I'll tell you what, I think you could put this bottle up. This particular batch that came out in 21, if it had been proofed up just a little bit higher, I think you could put it up against Pappy 15 and find that this you would pick this all day long because this is $70 a bottle,
Right.
and Pappy is unobtainium.
Right.
So for me, it's a 24. It's really a 25. I just wished I wish they would have just turned it up to 11, right? Like, so the allusion to the amp. I just wanted them to turn it to 11. So it's a 10. I just want it to be 11.
Hold on a second. And so Ka wants you to do something, and I think I can oblige him.
Oh, God. Do you have a Spinal Tap button?
Nope. This is yours,
Well, this is mine, but
but one of these.
it doesn't matter. We're all friends.
Yeah, and it's all 100 proof or higher, so who cares?
This is 120. He wants you to put this on a quick taste test. You taste one or another and tell. Now, this is just a 10-year up against the 12-year. He wanted me to put up but he said the store pick, which I did. I had a store pick. Hey, that just shows you we listen to our listeners. I had it right there. He's doing it right now for you, Kyle. So tell me.
And this is the good store pick, too.
Of course. Why would I pick the bad one?
The nose is better on the store pick.
Okay. No, just do the tasting straight up. Go taste, 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 taste. Put that baby in there. He's doing it here right now, folks. No, put that one. No,
So-
take a sip of that again.
This is so the 10-year doesn't. It shouldn't make any difference. 2 years in a barrel, but it makes it all the world of difference.
That's because you're liking. So, Ka, what I'm going to say is that 12-year blend at 100 proof, they're paying attention to the oak. The 15-year then all of a sudden takes the oak too far, in my opinion.
I agree with that.
The 12-year balances that oak. So if you're a fan of that oak a little bit, the 12-year just rocks. But if you're a fan of caramel, big, bold sweetness, you're gonna pick that barrel pick. I agree with you. But if you're looking for just a little bit of oak, now here, whiskey is gonna do what he does. He mixed them. Come on. Oh, I'm gonna try that too. We
proof
can
it up a little
always
bit, right?
do. We'll poof it up.
You can poof anything up, buddy. You do you, especially with those dudes at 12.
Here we go. I'm gonna put a little in there too. Okay.
Oh, no, so no, you know what?
Give me just a smidge.
Oh,
Please.
you know what? That's good.
You don't have any of the other stuff.
Well, we
I
can
don't care.
fix
I
that
just want
too.
to taste that.
No.
We'll blend it for you.
Good. All right, blend it. I don't care.
We're blending right here on the
We're
tasting of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys live. The live whiskey live. We do
That's
whiskey
about
live.
50-50.
We're the Scotchy Blender Boys.
We might be tonight. Now
The
you know what?
Scotchy Bourbon Ball Blender Boys.
You want some, Roxy? You want to blend it?
I'll take a sip of.
So you know what? You get the better nose from the 10-year.
Oh no,
Yeah, you do.
you do. But then the taste is fantastic on the blend. Holy shit!
The nose comes
Oh,
through.
you get that little punch
You
of
get-
rye.
You get the
It still
caramel, you
lingers.
get the rye, you get the oak, you mix the So that's what you gotta do, Kai. You gotta take the 10, mix it yourself. Wow, there's like tons more vanilla than there was on that one.
But you still get that sweetness that lingers afterwards.
That's
way better.
that is
So there you
something.
go, mix them.
That actually is better than either by themselves.
Mhm.
Right.
I got
Okay.
you.
Yeah.
Either by themselves. So the thing that the 12 is missing for me is a little more proof.
And sweetness.
And this, they come together.
Yeah,
This
that
brings
was
the
a good
sweetness
blend.
there, but even the
And
nose.
the finish now in your mouth is
Oh, yeah.
way more. It's
There's
sweeter
actually
and much more
Sweeter,
caramel.
but there's caramel on the finish. It's long. It's
But
no
you
longer
still
on
got
your
that-
tongue.
No,
It's
there's still some
a
on
little,
your tongue.
but it's more
Or
in the
you
back
still
of
get
your
it in the
throat.
front,
Still
but
get
now you
it,
get it in the
But now
back.
you're getting it in the back.
Right. And then
Yep.
what you get is I'm getting a little bit of mint. Just a slight hit of mint.
I think you're high.
No, I'm not. All right.
The one in Denver or the one in Philadelphia?
The one in Cleveland.
I'll tell you what, blending those two together
That's-
is the real
That
deal.
is- yeah, that is.
Some people do that. All right. Finish
Finish.
of the 12, not of the blend.
Mm,
Right. Finish of the 12.
That's
of
real
the,
good.
I will give the finish 23
I might go
because
two
I
parts
really
this, one part that.
am that
You can get real
On the
creative with
sides
that.
of your
That's
tongue, tip of
definitely-
your
you're onto
tongue.
something there.
lingering finish was very
There's a
unique
bar
and
in-
something that you don't
Wadsworth that does that.
get to have very often in a bourbon.
Right.
Yeah. And you're before I took the blend and wiped out everything, I was still tasting a little bit of the sweetness of that
Yeah.
bourbon on the finish. So although it wasn't a super complex
Jesus.
long finish, it wasn't super complex. It was very long and sweet and interesting on your tongue. So
That's a high score for you ever, Roxy.
that is a very high score for me.
You've never had a 90 out of you've never been in the 90s.
Not usually.
I am going to give the finish exactly the same thing what you said, a 23. I wish I had a marker that worked. The finish is good. It's unique with the tongue. It's not the best finish I've ever had. It's not. But it's one of the. It's a fine finish. There's no
Fine,
doubt
there you
about
go.
it.
That's a
It's
great
not. But the best is you
description
get
of
into
fine.
those 25s where it's like there's like. But this is
There's all
complex.
those
There's
notes,
a lot of
those
different things
to-
happening.
Different notes are all coming out. Yeah.
Right, but I just enjoy what's left, and that's what I love about that. So I will. Okay, Xavier, you're next.
Well, I would like to agree with you guys on the 23 for the finish, but then I'd be wrong. No. No. Actually, it is 23 is a great number. I'm trying to think of how, if it's a 23, what would a 24 or 25 be? That's where I'm struggling. I think it's a 25 on the finish.
Oh my lord.
It's just-
Well, I could get like I could pick
So if
like
I were
14.
Bill,
of them.
I would say right now, I may have tasted a better bourbon in my time, but I don't know when.
She actually said it
She
for you.
remembered it. Okay, that's awesome.
Holy shit! There you go. A good thing that the nose didn't match the finish. Otherwise, you'd have 100.
The nose is the only disappointment, really, and it's a good nose, but it's not consistent with the other aspects that we rate.
Right.
All
So,
right.
I love this finish. The only thing it lacks for me is that little bit of proof. And so for that, I'm going to give it a 23. I love the fact that I have it everywhere and it stays there. It still stays on the front of the palate, which is crazy in
Right.
bourbon.
Well, that's unusual. Yeah.
And it's not only does the flavor stay there, but I enjoy that flavor. So that, I mean, there's two parts of it, right? It might have a great body, but if it tastes like shit, it tastes like shit everywhere in your mouth. So, so in this particular case, again, Knob Creek 12 for me is the obtainable bourbon of the year for 2021.
Yeah.
I've had all the Buffalo Trace products. I've tried a lot of weird stuff and a lot of the blenders out there that are buying, MGP barrels.
Yep.
And, whether that's, Nulu or some of the other, crazy ass, things that have popped up. And I had a lot of bourbon over the last 12 months. And for me, this was the best bottle that I could walk into a store and reasonably expect to find a couple of times a year.
We have a really excellent Nulu barrel pick.
I think he has. It's from Total Wine too.
I have 3 of them at home.
Yeah, very.
But I think
I really like that one.
Yeah, there was one that was exceptional.
The only thing that I didn't like about it is it tastes a little young, but we'll do that on another whiskey
yeah,
live
we can,
tasting.
yeah.
All right. So, Roxy, you had a 90 out of 100.
Mm-hmm.
Myself was 86 out of 100, which I thought this was a very, very good bourbon. Xavier, 95 out of 100, and
Oh, yeah.
Whiskey, 93 out of 100, which left the Scotchy Bourbon Boys rating system to be 91 out of 100.
And
I think that's
that's a real
spot
good
on.
bourbon.
That's good.
When your contrarian indicator is an 86, you know it's a good bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I'll be honest, that's the highest rating I've given a bourbon since I joined you guys. I mean,
I think it is.
that is this is the real deal, folks.
It's a pretty high one for me.
I mean, this is the real
Knob
deal.
Creek checks most, if not all, the boxes. It's really good bourbon. You won't be disappointed.
But this
Knob Creek
12,
12.
this is just.
But even like that. Now the 120 kind of cleans my clock a little bit, but it's a good bourbon.
So
It's
this
really good.
this
there's not a bad not.
this is not an Ohio pick or a store pick from Ohio. This is a spectacular store pick from outside of Bardstown. It's the liquor store as you're leaving Bardstown, headed towards Danville, and where Limestone Branch and Log still are.
Mhm.
It's there. It was a pick. It was spectacular. So
It was a chance.
Yeah,
You took a
actually,
chance.
And it's
And it
important
was-
to note
most
that
of
that's
my
a single
picks.
Yeah, it's a single barrel.
So I have a store pick. I have a pick out of Wisconsin. I basically did a pick for myself for Kentucky Bourbon Festival with Kentucky Bourbon Festival. And Freddie No was there along with Steve Coombs and Randy Prosy, the president of Kentucky Bourbon Festival, which is a fantastic pick. I had a lot of people tell me that was their favorite pick of the festival.
Yep.
So we've done a lot of picks with Knob Creek. So I wanted, let you know that it has nothing to do with Ohio. But what I'm going to tell you is, because we are the Scotchy Bourbon Boys and we are in Ohio, we are
Hey.
working June 9th. We are going to be in Kentucky to do the Scotchy Bourbon Boys barrel pick. I am hoping and praying that we nail it. So let me know, anybody out there who is interested in that pick. We will have a pre-sale. Once we do the pick, we will know how many bottles are there and how many bottles are available, and we will put them up onto the internet for vouchers that we can either have picked up or we will adjust accordingly for shipping. So that's where we're at with that. So
That's coming soon. So that'll be coming August or so of 22.
So it will be probably the first and best Ohio pick you ever had, because we're doing it. Because we do understand we have a very really rich, unique group that has a diversity of palates.
Yep. If we were rich, we'd be eccentric.
Well, then we're eccentric, right?
There we go.
Carl, just adding whiskey to us, it makes us all rich.
There you go.
Thanks.
We're rich in spirit.
Mhm.
Hopefully, we're going to be rich in money someday.
Yeah, there's always the lottery.
Yes, there is. All right. So, everybody, I think we're getting to the end. I got to make sure I get this. Where is the
Show me
banners?
the way.
Brand. Is that? There it is.
Don't ask why.
So, thank you, everybody, for visiting us. Remember, www.scotchybourbonboys.com. Check out.
Thank you to our sponsors.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, yes. Our sponsors, Log Still Distillery, Spirit of French Lick in
Yep.
Indiana. Alan Bishop,
Alan Bishop.
you are the man.
Yep. And a belated happy birthday, Alan.
Yeah, if you
Yes.
saw his birthday note, that was
No, we
pretty
did.
heart-touching.
Awesome.
Yes, you would have saw it if you were a Scotchy Bourbon Boy. So join us on our Facebook group, and then also Watershed Distillery. This week, earlier this week, we podcasted with Aaron Harris, wonderful, awesome
And
master distiller of Watershed.
And they just did their limited release 6, right? Watershed.
Yes, that
So,
came out on, and
Good save.
they've got. They also have a lottery pick right now that's out too. That is the.
Barrel proof.
No, she's the. It's a pick done by, and her name is, but she did 8 picks throughout the country and picked Watershed, and she is a female distiller. I believe her. Just her name's not coming to me, and that pick is up for lottery. So check out Watershed distillery.com. Enter that lottery because that bottle is going to be pretty spectacular. All right. So, anyways, everybody, thank you. Give me this.
Thanks for joining us,
All right,
folks.
let's
Yeah, tuning in. Thanks for drinking
Yes.
with us.
let's get
As
there.
always, cheers.
All right, and little Steve-O is going to take us out.
Little Steve.
And thanks to our friends at Jim Beam for this Knob Creek 12, because that
What
is
happened?
a darn good bottle.
Amen.
Darn good bottle.
It's turned down.
Okay,
It's not, you didn't press play either.
it's playing. Let's see if we could get it to do it again. Hold on, everybody. We got some time.
More technical difficulties.
Well, I don't know if it's technical, but
You need to press play.
no, she doesn't. Where did it go?
I don't know.
There we go. All right, hit play.
There you go.
Success.
What a novel idea. Hit the play button.
No, it was.
I may have heard this
It
song
had,
before.
it had to make that. Just so you know, that
Oh,
triple
show
had to happen.
me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. Show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. For if we don't find the next whiskey bar, I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die. I tell you, I tell you, I tell you we must die.
Good night, everybody.
Peace. That's some damn good bourbon.
That's very good.
Yes.